Hello parents, carers, members of staff. I wanted to do one last video to round off this academic year. I'd like to start by welcoming all of our new Year 7 students and parents to Albury Academy. We've been in contact a number of times already so far this academic year to try and help with transition, and we'll continue to do this over the summer holidays. Welcome to Albury Academy to all of those new students and parents. As we all know, this academic year has brought a whole new array of challenges for both teachers, support staff and parents, along with students. We've had to adapt the way we teach, we've had to adapt the way students are learning, and I wanted to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to all of the parents and carers who have been doing homeschooling throughout the summer term and part of the spring term. As a parent myself, I know how difficult it is to work at home with 3 children, and I know that all of the parents have worked extremely hard to make sure that their children aren't disadvantaged over this time. Can I thank all of the parents and carers who have taken the time to send the children's work into school. We've had lots of opportunities to praise students for all of the work they have done, and I thank all of the students personally for continuing with the learning in what are extremely difficult circumstances. As well as all of the challenges that we've faced, there's also been lots and lots of positive experiences, both in school and outside of school. We've had numerous opportunities where students and members of staff have supported local projects in the community. We've been delivering food parcels to some of our families from food that members of staff have brought into school, and also from organisations that have supported our school by delivering food parcels to us, then to pass on to our parents. Looking forward to next academic year, members of staff are going to be working hard over the summer holidays to look at how we can ensure students catch up on the learning that they have missed. We've already started to review our curriculum and rewrite our schemes of work ready for September, so the learning that pupils missed out on during the summer term is quickly caught up in the autumn term. When students come back in September, we'll work hard with those students to ensure that that work is caught up and support any students who feel that they need some extra help in making sure they reach their full potential. Before I hand over to Mr Davis, who's going to take you through some of the protective measures that we've put in place ready for September, we've followed the government's guidance really closely to make sure our school is very safe for both students and teachers and members of the support staff. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish our Year 11 students the very best for the future. I look forward to seeing you in August for the results day, and I hope that those results that you receive are as good as you hope them to be, and we will support all of the students throughout the process to help them move on to the next stage of their education. From a personal point of view, I'd like to end by saying a huge thank you to everyone who's shown support for our school over this difficult time. I've really appreciated the messages that I've received from a number of parents thanking me for the way our school has worked over this challenging time, and I look forward to seeing you all in September. Have a great summer and see you soon.
Hello everyone, Mr Davis here, Deputy Head Teacher. Just giving you a bit of an update, the first update of the summer, just in terms of some of the fine detail and the logistics you'll need to know about as we get ready for September. First thing I want to say to you is all of our planning that's gone into place so far is all has our primary focus on reducing the transmission of COVID-19 and making sure that in our local area and within our school, we do everything that we can to avoid any outbreaks and take all the necessary steps that we need to. Following on from that, once we've got those measures in place, we need to look at providing the best possible education for your children that we possibly can. And I just want to talk to you about some of the start of term arrangements and some of the things that you need to know about ready for September. Our students will be coming back in the first week of September. Thursday the 3rd of September will be the first day in our school for our Year 7 students and our Year 7 students only. We will share more detail over the coming weeks, but they will be in for a period of time, around 2 hours, where they will spend time with their form tutor, get to know the school site, get to know some of the key bits of information in terms of timetables, where the canteen is, and all those crucial bits of information that they ordinarily would have picked up through the transition up until this point. Unfortunately, because we've very much had a contactless transition, but I know you've received lots of information from Mr. Brittle and Mrs. Mewis, we want to give them a bit of on-the-ground training when they come back in on the 3rd of September. We will confirm with you through our normal mechanisms exactly what time your child will be coming in, but you will receive that over the coming days and weeks. All other year groups will return to us on Friday the 4th of September. On that day, all students will be with their form tutor for the day, and getting to reconnect with their form tutor, with their peers in their form group, obviously getting the reintegration that they need after such a long time out of school, and just making sure that they're aware of the new procedures as people come back into school. One of the things that you need to be aware of is, as per the government guidance, it talks about staggered start times, staggered finishes, and making arrangements for year teams to come in at appropriate points for them. So what we've done is we've taken a decision that we're going to be using 5 separate entrances to our school site. All of those can be seen on the information that was being shared and is also in the update as well. But that links in with the zones that our students will be in. So year 7 will be in our L block, which is predominantly our science and ICT based area. Year 8s are going to be on the 3rd and 4th floor, which is humanities and music. Year 9 will be in our maths block. Year 10 will be in B block, and our year 11s will be split between communications, technology and N block. All of these areas our students will be familiar with. Our entrances are going to be linked in with those areas. So it means that only one year group will be coming in through the different entrances that we will be using. And we would ask that when we tell you the start times that you need, that you work with your child to get them here for that time. Nobody can be on site before 8:30 in the morning. Not only is it a safeguarding issue, but it's also, again, about managing the transmission of coronavirus and making sure that we take all the steps that we need to. So by staggering and managing the entrance and exit from our school site, that will help us to make sure we've got that under control. And that will obviously rely on all of our students and our families being aware of what's needed and taking responsibility to meet those expectations. One thing which you need to be aware of, and particularly if you are a parent or a carer that's got more than one child in the school, one thing you need to be aware is that Pound Road will be a no waiting zone for our children. So we do not expect anybody to be lingering or clustering outside of school at the point that we finish the school day. And we would ask everybody, and we expect everybody to move off immediately. So if you have more than one child at the school, clearly one of the things that will need to happen over the coming weeks is you just work a plan for what their meeting point will be for their return journey home, whether that's on public transport or however else they will be making that journey. During the course of the day, obviously we've had to look at our lunch arrangements. Up until now, we've had one single lunchtime where the best part of 1,500 students will queue up and go through the canteen. Clearly, with social distancing expectations and the management of our school site, that isn't going to be possible. So we have changed the structure of our school day, moving to 75-minute lessons where students will actually be studying double lessons as well as part of their timetable. So we have changed the structure of our lunch times, and it is going to be slightly shorter, but they will be students will be going from their zones in their bubbles to lunch to go and collect their food. So the first thing you need to be aware of is at break time there will be no food available. So we would urge you to plan and prepare in advance. If your child wants to bring snacks into school, they can do so, but there will not be any food available at break times. At lunchtime, there will only be cold food available. It will be a selection of grab bags, so students can get their food and go from the canteen. There will be sandwiches, ham and cheese sandwiches available. There will be a cold pasta pot, and there will also be a chicken salad that will be available. They will only come with a bottle of water. We know that the students at Oldbury love the Radnor fizzy drinks, and staff love them too. However, to make things easier during the course of these early weeks and months, as we come back in September, only water will be available, and there will also be a selection in the grab bag of fruit and also a cake as well. So it is quite a basic food option. It is a very limited menu, but that's about making sure the logistics work in order to be able to keep everybody safe at all points during the day. Now, clearly, if that doesn't suit, then we would urge you to work with your child to make sure they've got packed lunches or they've got some form of alternative. But if they are going to be coming into school, one of the things that we need to make sure is that we are running a cashless servery, which means it's essential that even if you haven't used it previously, that you use Parent Pay, which is a facility that all of our families will have, to be able to put money on your child's account, which means there is no need for cash to be coming into school. That will be crucial. What we don't want is that students get to the servery, to the point of buying their food. They can't access it because they haven't got enough money on their Parent Pay, because the staff, who aren't Oldbury Academy staff, however, the staff will be told not to accept any cash whatsoever. So it's essential that is something that you prepare for in advance. In terms of preparation for the start of the year, you will understand our standards and our high expectations are even more important than ever, as we expect people to come back with the right attitude for learning, respect, to make sure that they are respecting the staff in the school, the adults and the site, to keep their distance from other people and to allow people to be in school learning safely, with that safety being at the forefront of everything that we do. So we will be changing our behaviour policy and updating it, and I will share that with you with the key updates, just so you can see how we have adjusted our practices to take into account for COVID-19 and to make sure that all students and parents have got the peace of mind sending their child to school, knowing that we are dealing with things as we should to ensure that learning is our priority. In order to make learning our priority, it's essential that you know that there will be and there can be no sharing of equipment. So whilst in the past some students may have come into school without a pen or without a pencil, it is absolutely vital that they have their own equipment, because staff will not be in a position to lend or loan anything. Where we've got specialist equipment, we've got procedures and risk assessments in place to allow for the wiping down and the cleaning of that equipment. But your basic stationery and the equipment that your child will need in their lessons is going to be very much the responsibility of you for providing that. We have got an equipment list which you can see and will be shared through the newsletter and the updates, and it is quite an extensive equipment list. It isn't just about coming with a pen and expecting that to be it. There are going to be, for example, specialist equipment you will need in maths, like a protractor or a compass or a particular calculator. There will be green pens that you'll need and highlighter pens so that you can engage with the feedback that your teachers give you. And obviously we're currently looking at our marking policy. So those things are critical for September, and it's essential that you plan and prepare and get those sorted. But what I would say is they can all be purchased fairly inexpensively from some high street stockists. I would refer you to places similar or places such as Poundland, Asda, some of the local supermarkets and high street stockists, where you can buy packs of equipment at a relatively low cost. And we would urge you to be organised as you move forward. Part of that organisation, which all of us as parents have to get ready for the new year, is school uniform. Our uniform expectations remain as high as ever, and we will be wanting everybody in full school uniform in September. Guidance has gone out and will be coming out additional to this about our PE kit. So where students have PE on a particular day, because of the lack of change in facilities and the risk assessments that fit around that, we will be expecting students to come in their PE kit, and that information will be shared because there is an alternative if you're unable to get the Oldbury Academy branded kit. Our standard school uniform we've made more accessible because what we've now done is purchased a supply of badges. The badges are available from our finance department for £3. They can be sewn onto a blazer, and the blazers can be bought from local supermarkets again and high street stockists at a lower cost than maybe some of the embroidered badges that you can buy from our usual uniform suppliers of Oakses and Clive Marks. The embroidered blazers are still available if that is something that you would like. One other thing that we've done is that we are looking at a scheme where we can recycle some of our school uniform. Again, as a parent, I know that our children grow out of uniform very quickly and you have to replace and replenish those stocks. We would like your old supplies, please. We can wash them and recycle them because, as we know, we've got some families that will have struggled as a result of the lockdown, maybe through furlough, maybe through other situations that have developed, and we would like to be able to support them in the run-up to the start of the new academic year. If you have any old uniform that you can spare, we would be eternally grateful if you could drop that into reception at some point over the coming weeks so that we can get it ready to pass on to those that would benefit from it. So just to summarise for you, and I've gone through over a lot of information there, just the key things that you will need to be prepared for over the coming weeks so that you are ready to go in September. Number one, I would say, is uniform and equipment. Working through the equipment list, buying it bit by bit as you go on, but making sure that we've got all of that. A bag is absolutely essential to keep that equipment in, and all students must have a school bag with them in September. Along with the equipment, making sure that you've got the right uniform, and again, our usual high standards apply, and we would ask everybody to get that, particularly with a focus, please, on school shoes. Black leather shoes as always, no trainers, nothing with the sports marks on them, and we would ask that you get appropriate uniform in line with our policies. Second thing is, I would ask you to think ahead, please, about your plan for lunches. Will you be using parent pay, in which case please make sure your account is set up and you are ready to go with credit on the account? Will you be sending packed lunches? Just work out a plan for that so your child comes in and has everything that they need. Please bear in mind we don't allow energy drinks on site, and we would always ask for a balanced lunch with all the appropriate nutrients, so that students can go into lessons ready to learn, not just physically but mentally as well. And the final thing I would ask you to prepare for, based on the information you've received, is the plan for arrivals and departures. If your child is going to be coming to school on public transport, they will, in line with the current guidance, they will have to wear a mask. Okay, so obviously they will need to dispose of that mask appropriately, and as guidance changes over the coming 6 to 7 weeks, we will make sure we respond to that and give you the important updates you need. But please check bus timetables, please look at how, if there are any alternatives you can use. We would always encourage students coming to school on foot, by bike, obviously promoting those healthier routes of transport as well. And we would ask you just to make sure that, again, if you've got more than one child at the school, then you look at appropriate meeting points off of the school site and off of Pound Road. Okay, just hopefully we've covered a lot of information there, and you've received everything you've got to keep you going. There will be further updates every week over the course of the summer break, and I will try and make sure you've got all the relevant and practical information that you need ready for your children returning to Oldbury in September. We can't wait to see them. We are absolutely determined that when they do come back, it will be as safe and secure a site, not just in terms of COVID, but in terms of standards and expectation. And there is a lot of high quality learning going on in September, and I'm sure that by working together we will get there. Thank you for your attention. Have a good summer.